So I'm with my old friend David at Watch Collectors, mate. It's great to see you. How you been? You've been off radar.
Yeah.
Like everyone's been saying, where's David? Is he all right? What's going on?
Still alive.
Looks like you've been a busy boy.
We've been, we've been working hard. Been working hard offline. Been off YouTube for about 4 months or something.
It's just been on for ages.
Even when I was on, I was doing it really slow because we've been working on this project for a year. I mean, funny enough, I'm announcing it on your channel before mine, but. This is basically the project that we've been working on. We're actually in the basement now. We didn't want to give you a full tour yet. Paul wanted to shoot around the store, but it's not completely ready, so we'll show you a small bit of it.
A little bit of it. There's still a little bit of snagging to do, but as you said, you've been working on this now for a year?
Roughly a year. Yeah.
About a year?
Yeah.
You've obviously gone to super duper uber lengths to probably make it the most secure premises that I've ever been in my life. It makes your average bank look insecure. Tell me a bit about it. What have you been up to? It's just amazing, the technology that's involved.
I mean, we've gone
the extra mile.
We've gone the extra mile. I mean, we thought about security first, and then we worked around it aesthetically. You can see we've tried our best. From every single door being a high security door. To be fair, we'll give them a plug. It doesn't matter if you're happy. Warrior Doors fitted out the shop for us, whether it's the windows, the bars, the doors, the sliding doors that you see there. All that techie stuff is all them. And we dealt with a really nice security company as well, Kings. They did the CCTV and all the face recognition panels that you see around you. So. There's a fair bit of work there. As you can see, every single door opens on face and finger recognition. It's just we learned from all the mistakes that a lot of people have done, and we thought to ourselves, why make them again? So we just went all out, tried our best, and if anything ever happens, and at least you say, I've tried my best. But security-wise, I think we've done everything that we could possibly do.
And a bit more, I would imagine. So
the cabinets there, same grade as the front doors. They're
the glass thickness is like crazy.
Yeah.
So we're in the downstairs area now in the basement, and you've kind of done this up really. Is this for customers to come and relax a little bit, chill? You've got a pool table here, a bar. Yeah,
I mean, we thought genuinely about customer experience. Many people said, well, that's crazy, why would you turn your whole basement, it's a fairly big basement, why would you turn that into like a bar/lounge? You should be using it as an office. Well, we do have office space. And I thought, well, when a customer is spending that sort of money, we held back from opening a shop. We said we'll wait for the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for a very long time. So when we decided to do it, we said we're going to try and provide the ultimate customer experience. And I think now we've reached the vision in our heads. I think we did reach it. You've got a beautiful showroom upstairs, and downstairs it's a very, as you can see, very quiet, very private. This is where you take a customer down, have a drink, have a game of pool, put all their favourite watches on display. You've got a nice lounge here, and there's still bits to be done. Even that pool table there was just nicely lended to us by a friend while the new one comes in.
You've got your own one coming.
Yeah. But actually, you know what? While we're at it, I'll give you a sneak peek of how this stuff works there.
You guys, I hope they can see that in the back.
Yeah, if they can, So that's now just the lock disengaging. And then you've got like a, super thick security glass on there. Once these things lock, you've got like a better chance of taking the wall out than you do actually trying to open one of them. So we're really proud, and something like this has never been, I've never seen it before in a shop. So, that's
so this is a vision of yours and Alan's that you've really put together and made it like a dream come true, really.
We worked side by side with Warrior Doors to make these things, and long in the making, but we're proud of it. We're really happy.
I know we've spoken in the past, and you told me a long time ago that what you're trying to build here ultimately is a legacy long term for your family, for your children, Alan's grandchildren, etc. You want this business to be here in 100 years. I suppose, playing devil's advocate, a lot of people will say, well, did you open at the right time? Because obviously the market's been not what it was the last few months. Was that a concern of yours in the setup?
Well, to be fair, I feel like we opened at the perfect time. things, I don't know if you're following, I think things right now are starting to show the brighter side. Yes, you know, like everybody else, there's certain stock that we took a hit on, but it is what it is. You know, nothing goes up like this forever. It's always going to level out, or it's always going to fall a bit, pick back up. But I mean, we're very optimistic. And what we did is, you know, that period of quietness, we used it to our advantage to pump as much effort into here, because whilst it was great being super busy and doing a lot of business, but there was going to be business disruption for us, at least. Moving from one premises to the other. So
that
if anything,
probably happened at the best time, really.
It happened at the best time. So you might as well be disrupted when business is not booming, and then catch it when it's booming. And I think we will catch it when it's booming, because things have picked back up for us. And now we've settled down. We're still settling down. You can see we're a bit snagging to do and things like that. But you know, we're buying well, we're selling well, we're doing all right. So,
what's the position buying and selling at the moment? Are you getting more people looking to sell than buy?
I think the hardest bit was telling people that your watch has dropped in value. This is what it's worth now. Last year, yes, you would have been offered this much. Now you're offered this much. This is the hardest bit.
Are they understanding that, do you think?
I think so, yeah, because we're buying stock. We're buying stock. It's just we're buying it at a different price than we were last year. And fairly so, because the market is the market. When it goes up, it goes up. When it goes down, it goes down. And it does that on both sides, buyer and seller. And I remember when people would be like saying, oh, like, you guys don't take risk, the stock just appreciates so and so. Well, there you go. We took a risk. Some of it paid off, some of it didn't. But overall, I think if you've got a successful business, it needs to survive that and that. It can't just be working on the upside, because that's never the case in anything.
It's not a nice question to ask particularly, but I know, you know, you're always up front. But did you lose much money on many watches, do you think?
No. Not many watches.
Not many,
but we did lose. We did lose a lot of money on some watches. You know, it did happen. A couple of Nautiluses that we took a big hit. But saying that, we decided to keep them. We believe that you will see high prices again. We didn't start in this business last year. You know, so we know we've seen a trend of Patek Philippe falling 30% and then picking back up with vengeance. You know, I'll give you an example of like a 5980. At one point it was 100, 110. It dropped down to 70 grand, and then it went right back up to about 150. This is a steel 5980. And then of course now it's gone right back down, not all the way back to the start, but it's gone down. And it's like, well, I've seen this happen before. It doesn't scare me. You know, it is what it is. And again, you've got to be clever, go with the flow, don't complain, just hard work and move on. You've got to have a positive attitude.
And I think the viewers that have watched my advice for long enough, they'll have recognised the message that you're giving there, which is don't dump your stock, as it were. Don't panic. If you've paid, you know, a high price for a watch, it will come back one day. It's just going to take some time.
I can pull those two 5711 rows that I'm talking about. We still have them. I'm not a fan. It's like, if you don't need the money, don't dump it. Not only this, I've always thought, look, buy watches because you enjoy them. And the fact that they go up in price is a great bonus. I'm also a fan of investing in watches, because that's something I've done since I was a teenager. You know, I met you, I think I was 15, 16-year-old when I met you. And I got into this business fairly young, and my mentality was always, I'd rather have watches, gold, anything, any asset over money. Of course, while having enough money to live, basically.
But of course,
what I'm saying is that and we were having this chat outside, some businesses rely on very high turnover to stay alive, and some don't. Some of us, not to sound arrogant, let's say it's a blessing to be in a comfortable position where you don't have to realize a loss. Because as long as you haven't sold that item, you haven't lost the money yet. You see what I mean?
Yeah, you've only lost it if you sell it at a loss.
So when I say a couple of watches we took, or a few watches that we took a big hit, it's a hit that hasn't been realized. We just decided to keep it. If you're going to get a big loss on it, you might as well keep it. This is our attitude. And thankfully we have enough of other watches that we're going to make money on that we can sell to keep the company rolling.
And I guess that's the key, David, ultimately, to the dealers that will come out the other end strong, and the ones that perhaps unfortunately won't, because they maybe, you know, they have had to, for whatever reason, might be financial, might be loss of confidence or loss of patience, but if they dump their stock and there's a bit of a bloodbath going on, then, you know, they've realised that loss, haven't they?
That's it, and that's, you know, the exact word I wanted to use is, unfortunately, life is not fair.
Yeah.
And you always hear, this is not going to sound the nicest, but I've always been upfront. You always hear the word like, the rich get richer during recessions and things like that. Now, I'm not calling us rich, or I'm not calling somebody else poor, or I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. But what I'm saying is, if you're comfortable, and please do not take this in the wrong way, if you're in a very comfortable position as a business, I'm not talking about individuals, I'm not a rich person. If you are in a comfortable position as a business, recessions is where you make the most money. In a business like this, in a buying and a selling business, recessions is where you spot the best opportunity and make the most money.
Yeah, you buy low and you sell higher.
This is it. If you can buy and hold, this is where you make the best money. And for us, like I said, it's not a business that started last year or the year before, 10 years ago. This goes back, 30 odd years. So we're lucky to be in that position that we can capitalize on the market now. I think we'll come out stronger than where we were before the market went down.
A lot of your stock is what I would class as unusual anyway, and not necessarily subject to some of the drops that have taken place. I mean, you have some very diverse stock, don't you?
Yeah, we and this is what always kept us afloat, isn't it? That we always buy things that...
Find another one.
Yeah, find another one. It's very hard to compare. You know, when you talk about diamonds have some of the highest markups. You could be in a jewellery shop and spend 10 grand on a diamond when its trade value is about 2. It's like literally you buy a stone, times it by 5, you sell it. That's how it tends to be the retail experience. And the reason people still buy diamonds, well, not why they buy them, but the reason why is they're hard to compare.
Yeah.
They're really hard to compare unless you understand diamonds, unless you know what you're looking at.
And the science of them, yeah.
Exactly. They're very hard to compare, the 4 C's. The average guy is not going to understand, color, clarity, cut, the whole thing. And when you put that into watches, and then you find watches where you can use the phrase, well, find me another one, again, it becomes very hard to compare, and then you can pretty much ask your price. As long as it's good value for money, a lot cheaper than the retail price, the customer is always intrigued. And this is something that we've always done well with. And this is something that keeps us excited. It's not boring. It's not your Datejust, Submariner, Daytona.
Yeah.
It's a bit of diversity.
It's the challenge of finding something different and unusual.
Yeah. We've always loved it. And by the way, sorry, just to go back on one point, and that is when we're talking about if you're in a comfortable position, you'll be able to capitalize on this. I'm not just talking about us. There are a lot of healthy, strong dealers in the UK that I think will do very well out of this period. So it's not just us. I'm talking about anybody with a bit of financial backing and a decent
business brain,
business
module. Yeah,
they will do very well out of this.
What do you think's happening to for want of a better expression, the flippers? Do you think a lot of them have moved on to something else?
A lot of them have flipped off. To put it in clean words. Do you know what it is? Again, I've always been like the guy that was maybe a little bit negative about the flipping market. I've always thought and believed and said that the flipping market is not going to last for a very long time. And the reason is because it's not in the interest of anybody, from consumer to dealer to manufacturer, to have a middleman floating in between, multiplying prices at every stage. It just doesn't make sense. And what was very easy, what we were talking about with everybody here, was a year ago or a year and a half ago, you could buy any watch, hold it for a couple of months, or even hold it for a month, still within your credit. If you're buying it on a credit card, still within your credit card limit for 1 month. Yeah. You don't even have to pay it yet. Buy that watch on a credit card. Within the first 30 days before you have to pay it back, you've already sold it at a higher price because things were appreciating fast. That was a booming market.
Yeah.
But like we said, it's very easy to make money out of a booming market. It's very hard to make money, not just at a market that is leveling, but also even at a stable market. And I think on many things we've reached stability. On some watches I've noticed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Daytonas are starting to go back up in price. You know, I've
There's a
noticed
slight upturn this month, isn't there?
there has been an upturn on the Daytonas, and so has other watches as well. So even in a stable market, not easy to make money because you've got to have the right business brain, know your watches and know how much you're paying, know how the margins work, protect yourself against, like for us, you know, when we buy a watch, I always keep in mind it's going to cost me this much to repair. I've got rent to pay, staff, I've got a give a warranty with the watch.
Yeah.
So all of that, if you account for everything, then you're safe. But for people that are working on like a 1% margin, it never made sense.
Yeah.
And at times like this, you'll start to feel the financial hit.
As you mentioned, we've known each other for for a long, long time now. What would you say, what's the biggest difference in the watch business that you see today than perhaps when, you know, let's go back 10, 12 years. What do you think is the biggest difference? What would you say?
10 years ago, it was very easy to make money. Seriously.
10 years ago?
10 years ago was very easy to make money. Internet was easy. It was less competitive. There weren't as many people doing this. Whilst the market has grown, but so as the dealers that were introduced. There's a lot more dealers now. And I think it will become easier to make money again for any legitimate dealer that has a good setup. It will become easy again because I feel like a lot of these dealers that were introduced on the upside cannot survive a stable market. So what will happen is that it will flush them out. Sadly, but we're here to talk about facts, not not emotions. Sadly, it will flush a lot of these young, inexperienced dealers out, and then you're back to having a bigger market because of social media with the original dealers that have a very strong setup, like a healthy setup. So, you know, whilst I feel like now you have to work maybe twice, 3, 4 times harder to earn the same money as 10 years ago, I think it's going to be a cycle of being able to make money easily again once there are means of checking the right dealer from the wrong dealer. Because currently online right now, you know, with everything that we've put in place to please the customer, we could be on Chrono 24 being compared to some guy selling watches out of his bedroom, giving you zero experience, zero warranty, but our prices are being compared together. Why? Because he's registered as a dealer.
They're on the same platform.
And we're registered as a dealer on the same platform. I think eventually you'll find that there's a lot of disappointment to the point where platforms like Chrono 24 and so on, they'll need something a bit more than just feedback for the customer to trust. You need to see a bit more about the business. I think they need, a lot of these platforms should push more information about the business itself, pictures of their premises, how they operate, the whole thing, what guarantees come with that watch. Once that online experience is more refined, I think you'll find that it will go back in the favor of proper, solid, old-school dealers.
For me, the best...
Sorry, but would you say that online purchasing experience right now has been refined? I think we're nowhere near, personally.
No, it's a long way to go. I think a long way to go. I think for me, the best years really were probably about 2005 through to 2015. You know, like you say, a whole lot less dealers, and there was fewer of us, and we were kind of, although we're well known today, we were even better well known back in those days because there wasn't so many people to know. If you went to the Munich Watch Fair, most of the big watch dealers in the UK were in Munich for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly, and just it's really sad. I think how now we're all being compared against each other in the same light when some of us work 10 times harder to actually give that experience. Genuinely, like I tried to source a watch for a customer at zero profit. Just yesterday he picked it up. I tried to source a watch. We've done a really nice deal on a watch. So I said, and then he asked me, do you have this watch? I said, no, I don't, but you know what, I'll get you it. Whatever my cost is, fair. We made good money on the watch that we did a deal on. So I'm doing it as a favor. The watch is meant to be unworn. Very, very particular customer wants the watch to be unworn.
Yeah.
So I made 2 purchases, and 2 out of 2 that were sold to me as a dealer as unworn came to us, and I looked at it and I said,
This is not unworn.
this is not only it's not unworn, it's scratched and it's been polished before.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how many dealers get away with this when they're selling to the public? Because your average Joe, they can't tell.
No.
They can't tell a polished watch from a unpolished watch. But for us, it's the moment a bit of light hits it, I know how the light is meant to reflect off it. Straight away from the corners, I'm like, this doesn't,
not right.
This is not right. And like 2 out of 2 purchases were polished, and it was really disappointing because I thought, well, if this happened to me as a dealer, right? How many times has it happened?
Why are they getting away with the public? Yeah.
Exactly. And eventually we managed to sort out the customer, but it's if I gave that customer, if I didn't check and I just took that dealer's word for granted, gave the customer the watch, customer went elsewhere and somebody said, oh, this watch has been polished, but it's in mint condition. They say, hold on a second, I bought it as unworn.
Unworn, yeah.
That's my relation finished.
So what's your plans here? You got opening do, or what? Tell us what your plan is.
The plan is to do as much business as we can. And what we want to do is, and you'll hear about it first because I want to do a lot of stuff together here. I think it's a fun place to film and do a bit of work and so on. We want to do like an official opening, but there is a few things we want to get out of the way. We're getting a few more cabinets made upstairs. You can see there's one of the chandeliers is low because it's supposed to go above a showcase. Everybody says, oh, why is this low? Well, there's a showcase that's meant to go
underneath it.
There are 3 showcases that meant to go upstairs, a bit of trims on the wall and things like. We just want to refine the place, get it proper cleaned up and polished. Because right now still, the builders only left just a bit ago, not that long ago, so it's still got to be clean.
So will you announce this on your channel? You'll let everyone know? You're going to be back on YouTube
I think
soon?
together, we'll announce it together. We want to do like maybe 7 or 10 days worth of openings, but every other day so we can have a day's rest. And then get like clients, dealers on separate days, and then do like maybe a YouTube event and just like split it up. Because some people like to be on camera, some don't. Do family and friends. You'll be invited to that one as well. But we want to have a bit of fun with this place, and we want to promote it in the right way. But for anybody who wants to visit us, we are working. We're open for business. If you'd like to come in, you're more than welcome to come and visit us. It's just as an official opening party, that's yet to come. But
most of you guys already know how to get hold of David, but if you're not, I'll put a link in the video description below to his website, his YouTube channel, etc., etc. And I'm going to look forward to the opening party. I mean, there's some I can't even begin to imagine what this must have cost. It's unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen cabinets like that before, that's for sure. So before I go today, we'll have a quick look at a couple of nice watches, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what are you going to show me? You got anything in mind?
I know you're an AP man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got 2 of your sicknesses sitting in the front window upstairs.
Come on in, let's go. Let's go and have a look at them and show the viewers.
All right.
So we're in Bond Street. I've been to see Oscar Official Watches. We're actually going to do a nice collaboration video together sometime in the future. Had a few clients in today, so it wasn't a great time for filming, but obviously just been to see David. I wish him and his boss Alan all the very best. I'm sure they'll make a huge success of their new business. For now, we'll have a little walk down Bond Street, see if there's anything worth seeing.
Yesterday, Salvador.
So what I'll do is, guys, get a little bit of some watch action on camera for you. outside the Breitling store. I don't know what the stock levels are like this time of year, because obviously we've just had Christmas, and you might find that a lot of the shops are maybe a little bit low on stock. A lot of dealers haven't been buying much recently. We'll have a quick look over at Wempy in the window there. Nice car coming up, Aaron, look, that'll do me. Very nice. You know when you've made it, when that's your third car.
Walk it out.
With an empty Protect window, nothing much in there. So I think a lot of dealers, what they're doing right now is they're just edging their bets a bit, seeing how the market goes. It seems to me that they're all doing the same thing. They're all buying stock as long as the price is right. Whether that price will be right for you guys or not is another thing. So what David said about, you know, he's got a couple of watches there that is, you know, maybe more than a couple of watches that would represent a loss if he sells them. But he's spot on the money. He's not going to sell them. He's going to keep them. He's going to wait. And that's the message that I've been giving you guys. You know, if you are sitting on a watch that all of a sudden owes you less than what you paid for it, the worst thing to do is to panic and sell it, because then your loss has been realised, doesn't it? If you hold it and just wait, be patient, you know, believe in it, believe in what you've bought, long term, you should be fine. One of the hardest jobs being a watch YouTuber is the fact that you guys want to see watches, but we can't go into the shops and film. You're restricted to looking through the window and pointing your camera in the window, which obviously isn't ideal. It's not the best, but it is what it is. So I wonder what's in Patek's window. Not a lot. If Wempy's anything to go by, probably not much. Big supply problems with Patek is what I'm hearing. Nothing in the windows. The windows are completely empty. How can you run a store in Bond Street? The prices that it would cost to rent that. Not a single watch in the window. Crazy. Hublot. These are nice. I like these sapphire pieces. What we'll do, guys, we'll walk down to Burlington Arcade. We'll have a quick look through there before heading off back down to Brighton. So we're not having a great day. No filming in Burlington Arcade today. I've got to say, the security guard was just about the most pleasant man I've ever met in my life. He was so apologetic, but today they're not allowing filming in Burlington Arcade. But popped in to see a couple of people that I know, no problems filming in the window, etc. It is what it is. So I've got to be honest, it's always fun walking up and down Bond Street and having a look around, but it's really not the place for the uneducated watch buyer, because you're definitely going to go home with an empty wallet and probably not the best bargain of a lifetime, but it's always fun.
So Paul, what did you make of David's new place?
I know this YouTube lark ain't up all that. I've done me backing. We've had the world's dirtiest man on our case. As we get back to the station here, we get accosted by someone. I don't quite know how to describe him, but he was smothered in looked like about 4-week-old blood.
One beer for 4 people.
You could smell him before you could see him. And so David's place, yeah, really nice to be fair. I mean, like they've obviously worked really hard there, and yeah, you know, I hope it works out well for him. It's a big bold decision, but you know, I've been mates with his boss for donkey's years, and no one knows the trade better than he does. So yeah, I'm sure it'll work out well for him.
There you go, Andy. Want to see some stuff? That's a black flat.
You forgot where you was going now, haven't you?
I thought you were going to go more in depth about.
No. You forgot.
You know what
It's all right, everyone. Aaron's forgot his next question.
Yeah, Spencer.
You know what they say about paying peanuts? You know what you get if you pay peanuts? Go on.
All the drama going on at Spencer's place, what's that all about?
Aaron's my son-in-law, right? He goes out with my youngest daughter. So he lives under a permanent, what's the word? Osmond warning. He lives under a permanent Osmond warning. Go on, what was the question again?
All the drama going on at Spencer's place.
Oh mate, that's been hilarious the last couple of days, but I'll tell you what, I let the first video went out Friday night, but it only actually tells like not even half the story, because it was kind of, when that video went out on Friday, it was just like the story was just starting to unfold. But now we know the full strength of it. I'm not going to spoil it in this one, because on Monday I'm going to be seeing Spencer, Kaylee and all the gang over there, and they're going to give us the full story. But what I can say is that Spencer's been playing like the role of an MI6 spy over the last couple of days. Now I know he's little, so he's lucky that he's little, because he goes under the radar, nobody notices him. But seriously, he went beyond the call of duty yesterday. He did go beyond the call of duty. I mean, he could have just took the money and run, and like, you know, put some money in his back pocket. But instead of that, he done the right thing, and I'm proud of him for doing that. And he has saved someone a hell of a lot of money, and he's a hero this week. So this week, Spencer is my hero for the week.
Super Spence.
Super Spence, Mighty Mouse, Mighty Midget, whatever you want to call him. He's all of those things this week. He's done a wonderful job. But the full story, the final part of the drama at Beacon Watches this week will be coming next week. But it's a good story. He's run out of questions again. Look,
Mighty Mouse.
I might have to up your wages to £2 an hour. So it's a bit disappointing today, wasn't it? Really, we didn't get as much done as we wanted to. But nowhere wanted us. It was one of them days where no one wanted us filming. It was like everywhere we went, it was not today, not today. We're like, you can't film in the arcade today, and I don't know why. You just sometimes you just get that. But the life of a watch YouTuber is getting harder and harder. We go back to Brighton. Should we go home?
Yeah, sounds good.
Huh?
Sounds good.
Yeah, we go home. We go back to Brighton, and go on, guys. I'll see you next time.